Hi friends and family, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to take you through a little project we just finished up. It's a little different than my mural makeover videos and my painting videos, but I think it's important and interesting to show you one side of my work that has allowed me to sidestep the routine 9 to 5 and has over time allowed both my husband and myself to work for ourselves. This was our first property we bought, my husband and I, while we were still renting a house from my parents. It was a HUD home, a duplex, and it was in really rough shape. These pictures are not even showing the original condition. So after reading about a dozen real estate books about flipping houses and being a landlord and things like that, we got in here and refinished the hardwood floors, patched cracks, painted the walls, redid plumbing. We had central heat and air put in. We had the electric upgraded with all new wiring. And over the years, we've had to get a new roof and things like that. So it's been a work in progress, but we are really proud of this house. It was our first ever purchase. And it's really helped us to learn a lot about the real estate business, about how to get work done on houses for lesser than retail price. I mean, we worked with a lot of people who were maybe out of a job or trying to get back up on their feet, and they would do things for cheap. And I would always watch what they did and try to learn. And so, when we had somebody come over and fix a gas line, all they did was put soap on the little connections and found where it was bubbling, and then they tightened up connection. And so any other time we smelled gas, we kind of knew how to troubleshoot that. So there were things like that. Now there are a few things that I didn't like messing with, like electricity, and but my husband can do some of that. And the plumbing, I'm not great at it. I did flood one side of this property when changing out a toilet shutoff. So I've done that before, and I try to stay out of the plumbing part. So with all the interest in real estate lately, we decided to cash in on this property. It was still a great cash flowing property with our renters that we had here, but we were really enjoying some of the single family homes that we had now, noticing that people would stay longer. In this property, people would stay 6 months or a year, sometimes more, but then they would move on to something bigger. It was more of a transition place for students or young single people. But we noticed with our single family homes that we'd gotten recently, people would stay for 2, 3, 4 years. So the plan is to get this side looking really sharp so we have something to show buyers, but keeping our tenant in the other side to keep some income flowing until we close a deal. I love these light fixtures my husband installed. They really take things up a notch, and you don't need to be an electrician to do it, but definitely shut off the power and research how to do it before you tackle lighting. But it does make a big difference, so I highly suggest changing out those old fixtures. Another easy thing we did just to get ready to show the house was to remove all the old blinds and get new ones. The newer ones don't have strings. They're fresh, they're bright, and they're clean. I think it made a big difference. I think the biggest thing that made the most difference just to freshen this place up was giving it all a fresh coat of paint. We went with a nice bright white because that's the style right now. It just lightened everything up, and it really made it feel bigger, except for this bathroom. There's nothing bigger about this bathroom ever. So we really struggled with finding a new vanity. Spent some time scrubbing the grout in this shower. I think I used oven cleaner and or toilet bowl cleaner, and then I scrubbed it with a wire brush, and that did the trick. And then I went around the base of the tub, scraped out all the old caulk and put new caulk, and that really made a huge difference. So this is the funniest thing ever and frustrating. I called a lawn guy that we'd used for a year or more and just asked him to come and cut the grass for us. He did it when I wasn't there, and when I got back, I realized he cut half of the grass, one side of the duplex. So he was really nice and came back and did it for free, but I was so laughing that someone would cut this tiny part of the yard. So stuff like that happens, and you just roll with it. So the next thing on the list I'm going to tackle is getting up here in the eaves, scraping off some of the flaking paint. And I just go back in and touch up the areas that need to be touched up. If you're a perfectionist, this is not the life for you. I really could have drove myself crazy trying to get it all just right, but sometimes you just have to get the job done and keep moving. Okay, but I got to peek inside real fast. Kevin came by and he said he installed the ceiling fan that we found for the back room. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I think that looks great. It's so simple and just streamlined, super cute, and I think we got it on sale for around $40 or $50. Okay, back to work. Sometimes I think this house is held together with paint. I'm really just going with a thick brush stroke and mashing it into the cracks, filling in all the little spots that need to be filled in. I went ahead and gave the railings on the front porch a little touch up because that's one of the first things you'll see when you walk up to the house. I think it's great to spend a little more time on the front porch area to give the whole house a clean first impression. Okay, so here I am back on a ladder working on the eaves. You just got to jump in there and do it. I know it looks daunting, but start somewhere and work fast and don't stop. I think it's tempting to paint a little bit and then hop down off the ladder and stand back and look at it and then paint a little more. But on a job like this, you just have to put your head down and get to it. I'm really glad that I had some great weather to work in. It wasn't too hot, not too cold, and especially it wasn't windy. That makes a big difference here in Oklahoma. So I'm trying to finish up the front without opening like a whole new can of worms. I'm starting to scrape a little loose paint, which leads to a little bit more loose paint. So somewhere you just have to stop scraping and paint that sucker in. Oh my gosh, one more little spot of loose paint, but it did make such a difference. I mean, it really cleaned up the front porch and made the house look really nice and new. Speaking of front porch, I'm about to tackle the actual porch. The step that you step up on has had a little bit of wear and tear, so I'm just going to cut a little bit of that out and fill it in with some fresh new wood and go over it with some paint. Nothing too fancy, nothing too expensive. I feel like trim is a never-ending job. There's always some spot that you missed, or trim came off, or you had a weird piece of tile so the trim wasn't there. Well, this is a spot where there was some front entryway tile and it was really kind of ugly, but we just avoided taking it off forever. So we finally took it off and refinished the floors there and tried to make them kind of match up. And we were left with this empty spot. So I cut out some quarter round and popped that in there. So it was already time to mow again over there, so I went ahead and got the mower over there and did a quick mow. But the hardest part about it is getting the mower in and out of the truck. So my little tip for that is backing the truck up to the lowest part of the driveway and then getting the front two wheels of the mower up into the back of the truck. If you can get the front two wheels up, you're good to go. Okay, so I'm finally feeling like I'm done. I've painted the front porch and it's cleanup time. I'm leaving a few tools in the closet just in case, but for the most part, I'm clearing out and that's the best feeling.
This is the part where we go shopping.
Oh yeah. So staging properties has been very popular lately, and I honestly don't even think it's necessary in this market where properties are just flying off the shelf. But with all the work we've done to make this property look great, I just wanted to put the final touches on it, like the icing on the cake. So I took myself to Ross and just bought a bunch of stuff that I like, I'll probably use in my home. And I got towels for the bathroom, a shower curtain, soap, just accessories, and then like way too many rugs. I don't know why I bought this many rugs, but I bought them. And then I didn't know where to put them, but eventually I got it sorted out, and I think it came out really nice. It just really has kind of a boho vibe, a modern, just fresh look. And I think the accessories just kind of kicked it up a notch. As you can see, there were some imperfections in the floor finish, like around the front entryway. And I wasn't trying to hide it, but I did want to throw some rugs down so people could see just how great it would look when you get your stuff in here, and just having everything perfect wasn't really an option, and it wasn't even necessary. What am I doing here? I'm just moving rugs back and forth, and I ended up putting the big rug in the second room and using the smaller rugs in the entryway and by the fireplace. I love this little burnt orange rug that I found for the bathroom. It's just the right size, and the color was so cute against the dark blue floors. I picked up a navy blue towel to hang up and kind of tie the blue and the orange together, and just a bright white shower curtain. I think it looks great. Okay, I think that's a wrap. I think we're done, unless I decide to move rugs around, that is. So I went ahead and listed the property just on Zillow. Ended up selling it to one of the first people that had looked at it. So we were able to close the deal, and we had already arranged with the title company to put it into a 1031 exchange, which is a like-kind property exchange. Without getting into too much detail, a 1031 exchange basically lets you defer paying taxes on the capital gains, like the profits off the sale. And anytime I can procrastinate when it comes to taxes, I'm going to do that. So I hope I've inspired you guys to get creative, whether it's using your skills in your own home or even branching out there and starting that business that you weren't sure that you could even do. I will say it took a lot of courage for my husband and I to step out into this business. We really had to jump into it, trusting God. So we honestly have to give the glory to God. We paid careful attention to paying our tithes and making sure we were looking to Him and trusting Him and, praying about decisions. And He brought us helpers along the way. He brought us great tenants. He helped us to understand how to do things. And we really give the glory to God, but we didn't sit back waiting for it to happen. We worked really hard. There were times when, my husband would get off from working a full day and then come and work on a house. There were times when I got up in the morning and worked on the house and then got ready and went to work. There were times when I was pregnant and I was doing tile or under a house, so it's been a long road, but it's been fun. And there's such a difference when you're working for yourself. It's a whole different kind of motivation. And sometimes you have to find it from within because there's no one there to yell at you and tell you to get up and get going. All right, I'm going to shut it down now. I don't know how this got so long, but if you got anything out of this video or you enjoyed it, feel free to please give me a like or a subscribe or both, and I'll see you in the next video.